So, welcome to the call. I recently watched a video. I'm going to encourage you guys to go watch it. It's by Art Williams. And he said, what is the difference between someone that makes $5,000 a year, someone that makes $50,000 a year, and someone that makes $500,000 a year? And if you go look up the video, it's called Art Williams, Just Do It. It has nothing to do with Nike. What he's talking about is when people are saying, well, hey, Michael, Art, I want to do this. And he says, well, wonderful, just do it. Well, Art, I want to make a bunch of money and do some real estate. Great. Just do it. Oh, I'm getting some messages. I've started the recording, everyone. So thank you. And thanks for the message. It's working. Can you guys still hear me? Everything's loud and clear? Good, perfect, great, wonderful, yes. Okay. So what is the difference between someone that makes $5,000 a year, $50,000 a year, and $500,000 a year? He says, simply put, it's a little bit more. It's not drastically different. We have the same company, the same benefits, the same comp plan, the same earnings plan, the same product, the same training, the same company, the same everything. But why do some people make 5, 50, and 500? And some are going to make 5 million. And he says, and he has this big argument about it's just a little bit more. Pay the price a little bit more. You work hard a little bit more. You show up a little bit more. You smile a little bit more. You're pleasant a little bit more. You're just. So I bring this up because what I'm doing and what you're doing, the difference is I'm just doing it a little bit more. Right? I wear Renatus gear a little bit more. I say Renatus a little bit more. I pass out my business cards a little bit more. I ask for the sale a bit more, actually. Last night, I'm doing a webinar until frickin' 11 o'clock at night to hook these new people up into our program. Right? It's Sunday, but how many people will go? It's the weekend. Why don't we schedule this for Tuesday or whatever? No, we're not scheduling anything now. We're talking now. You have a credit card in your hand now. You can get access to Renatus now. So let's just do it right now. Right? And I have that attitude. We're going to do a little bit more webinars. We're going to do a little bit more follow-ups. Right? When people are staying home, goofing around and sleeping in, we're getting up and doing follow-ups. Right? I scheduled myself a follow-up for 7 a.m. Thursday morning. I get into town Wednesday night. We run our meeting. We're gonna have our late night meeting, catch up, and then I got to follow up at 7 a.m. the next day. There's no delay here, right? Like the only reason I'm not meeting that guy at 7 is because he's got a workshop that he's got to go to. Otherwise, we're meeting at 7 a.m. It's just a little bit more. Okay, so go check that video out. Pay the price a little bit more. Work hard a little bit more. You sweat a little bit more. Not that much. You don't have to do this. It's not a 50-hour-a-week gig. Okay. So here's something I found out is a bunch more people are going to need our services. Remember, so the game at Renata says, see the people, tell a story, build for events, and follow up. So there's going to be a bunch of people that we can now tell the story about Renatus to that are going to be a lot more coachable than they have been lately. Coachability is a key, right? Continuous follow-up, step 4. Now, one of the kinds of people that we're looking for are coachable people. Coachable, right? And remember what coachable means willing to try a new way, willing to take on new information, willing to do things differently, willing to change. Coachable. Willingness and coachability are there. Coachable, they need to be able to have the means, right? They have to be able to buy the education from us. And then obviously a need. So they have the means, they coachable, great. Let's get them in the system. Here's the thing. Talking about this on Labor Day, the reason why we have Labor Day is because there were strikes and riots and killing in the streets. Blood was shed because people were pissed off about their jobs being lost. But isn't it weird that people don't want jobs? We want to work, but we don't want jobs. Okay. So as we're constantly improving our economy and constantly improving our technology and software and systems and businesses, jobs are going to change. So right now, there are 3.5 million people who need to become extremely coachable. These 3.5 million people, if they stay coachable, are going to have a fantastic ride and totally switch and get exactly what they've been asking for. But if they don't stay coachable, they're going to be mad and pissed off and potentially destructive. So, of course, some people will be coachable. They'll be complainers. There'll be coachable people. There'll be stubborn people. There'll be people who ignore it. There'll be people who completely switch industries. There'll be people who are confused, right? There are people who are making it happen. There are people who are saying, this is happening. And there are people saying, well, what just happened? So we're going to get all kinds of people. Our job is to attract the right kind of people and put them into our system, get them the right information. I know through thousands of experiences, I have had thousands of experiences, and here's what I've learned. About of conversation or a combo sale. Now it has to be intelligent, strategic, informative, 5 hours, right? And it's not just rambling, but that's about it. 5 hours of conversation for a combo sale. Now, of course, I think combo, but you get whatever sale you need to get, okay? Just try not to do UGA essentials because people who are quick to do payments are quick to not do payments. Okay. So there's a way to do it. 5 hours, conversation, combo sale. I've had this happen thousands and thousands of times, okay? So if we use the webinars and we use the event funnels in your area, depending on what part of the country you're in, you can leverage 2 to almost 4 hours of this conversation from other people doing the events and webinars. That's pretty convenient. I'm telling you how convenient that is. I used to have to do the whole 5 hours myself. Find a customer, do the presentation, do the follow-up, show them some videos, then do a tour of the website, then go over funding, then go over funding, then go over funding. Right? Some people just need to be reminded they have the money and they need to give it to me. And then we set up their account and then we do onboarding, right? So like that, we get to leverage 50 to 80%, AKA 50 to 80% conversation can be leveraged. That's pretty cool. But you, everyone on this line here and everyone watching the recordings, must do the follow-up on a person-by-person basis, okay? If you hope that when someone watches a webinar, they're going to go to a website and enter their credit card, not a realistic expectation. Stop it. I don't know whoever told you that that's a thing to expect or that's a thing to work for or hope for. No, unless you want to make money, you need to, you want to make money, you've got to get on the phone with people and have that part of that conversation where you're entering an order and getting their credit card. Okay, prove me wrong. I dare you to prove me wrong. Waste your time proving me wrong. The rest of you coachable people, right, because you're coachable, you're hearing me, get on the phone after they watch the webinar within hours, maybe a day. Who cares if it's a weekend or a holiday? If they want it, they want it. on the webinar last night doing a follow-up. And the wife was like, why don't we wait 2 weeks till we get another paycheck? And he says, I don't want to wait 2 weeks, right? So it's like, if, half of you want to wait because their spouse wants to wait. What the hell? Stop it. And the spouse is the less informed one, right? The customer you're talking to is the one that's gone through the 4 or 5 hours of conversation. So no waiting. We do this last part of the conversation. If you have any questions, let's sign you up. What's your name? What's your phone number? What's your credit card number? What's your email address? Let's set up your account. That part you cannot leverage. You have to do that on your own, but that's why you get 10,000. So see the people you got to do of the money-making activities, right? These are the 4 MMAs, money-making activities. You got to go find the people. This is on you, okay? But telling the story is something you can leverage. That's nice, right? That's videos, and that's other people telling stories. That's also at the events. The stories can be leveraged too. But you got to make sure they come to the event. The event could be the webinar, it could be a live event, but that's on you also. And then guess what? Guess what? The follow-up, it's on you. No one's putting orders in for you, okay? So the real leverage comes with this telling the story. We're going to tell a story of Renatus. We're going to tell a story of happy customers. We're going to tell a story of what it takes to work, right? The disclaimers. This takes work and time in relationships. You don't just buy education and then you're rich. So we're telling the story. Notice this is on his 10,000. Right? What do you have to do at your job right now for 10,000? At Jiffy Lube, it was 5,000 oil changes, or it was about 600 cars that needed a new set of tires. So 6 times 4, 2,400 tires to get $10,000. Now I just have conversations, move them through this process, build for events, follow up. I get on the phone. I follow up. Sometimes you have to follow up for 10 hours, because they got to go to the bank and they got to do this and they got to move money and they got a retirement account and you're following up and you're taking phone calls and you're following up. And then there are other people who just have it right there. But no matter what, you don't ever stop this cycle of continuous follow-up until they seriously buy or die. Until they're like, get out of my face, put them in your do not call list, which rarely happens because we have such a bad going on. Hey, until then we're following up, okay? This is just that cycle of following up. It's that money cycle. You either in it or you out of it. So you get to leverage the time that takes the most. Having a conversation with someone and finding them, between 5 and 15 minutes, you're making a friend, right? This tell the story and being at events is what takes a few hours. You got 5 hours here at the events between the briefing, the intro, the follow-up, maybe they come to an intensive. There's the 5 hours right there. And then because the follow-up is done, or the Q&A is done, you just collecting their decision-making questions. Right here's decision question time. We got to get clear on this. Okay, quick side note on decision questions. For the next step, right? Next step is you sign up. And if they have questions, you got to make sure that they're decision questions, okay? Not training questions, right? They're like, well, what about this guy last night? He watched the webinar and he goes, well, let me just plug my numbers in and we can go over how velocity banking works for me. And I went, you know what? That's in the training, dude. You saw what it is and you want it. That's great. But in order for you to run your own numbers, that's not a question I'm going to answer for you. That's in the training. Do you have any questions around your decision to join is where I'm helping people. All right, you got any decision questions, right? Should you get the how does velocity banking work, or how does tax savings work? Okay. If they do that, I put a smile on my face and I say, that's in the training. So it sounds like you don't have any more decision-making questions and you want this training. So I'm just going to start putting your order in. I don't say I'm going to put your order in. I just start typing it. How do you want them to refer to you in this organization? Right? His name is Dominic. Do you want Dom or Dominic? When they call you, do you want him to say Dom or Dominic? So call me Dom. Okay, so I put Dom. Start typing. Put his last name. Okay. Email. And just go right through it. Okay. If they keep asking training questions, that's great. That's in the training. That's in the training. I don't answer those because you haven't paid, and people pay to get those questions answered. You can be that blunt and direct, or you can find your tactful ways to say it. Okay. Now, since I'm running off of, make this call shorter. Okay. So now here we go. We've talked about this. Finding the people. I'm going to tell you who these people are. And then we're going to figure out a story to tell them, an event to get them to, right? Our webinars here. And then you're going to do your follow-ups, and you're going to freaking follow up. You're going to follow up. You are going to follow up. You're done hoping someone else does it. You're just going to do it. So I'm going to put the links. I have new webinars for you. If someone wants to make some cool websites so that we can do some better lead capture stuff, I'm going to put them in the chat box. Are you ready? No, stand by. Okay, so these webinars, I got a new 13-minute webinar that is the new intro. Thanks to Zach for helping me. And then I got the new intro, I got a new follow-up, and I have the earnings plan. Now, don't send them all at once. That is stupid. Okay, you'd send a few of them. Wait for the earnings plan until afterwards, or you're talking to salespeople, or you're talking to people like, I need to make a paycheck right now. But if someone's here and you're having the real estate conversation, the velocity banking conversation, the tax saving conversation, the paying your kids conversation, the retirement account conversation, all those conversations, you exclude the earnings plan link. Got it? If we're clear on that, I'm going to put these links in here. There's 4 links. Earnings plan is the first one. The 13-minute intro is the second one. The full intro is the third one, and the follow-up is the fourth one. So your customer, if you take out the earnings plan and you just go on the product or service side of what we're offering, right? The service side of what we're offering is going to be the full intro and the follow-up, or you could do the 13-minute intro if they're not, use your best judgment, but don't send them all at once. Okay, get them excited. They're each their own event. Make them watch them. So I told that guy, he came off of a referral ad, or a salesperson ad, and I said, really before we talk, you're going to watch these webinars because you're going to also put people through the same process. So watch these webinars. And then I got on the phone with him, and he didn't have any questions, and we just signed him up. It was awesome. Okay, so these are new and improved. I went to the studio, recorded these. Okay, so now the question is, who are these people? Because we're going to create messages. We can make websites. We can improve our business cards. We can change how we talk to people so that we can attract more people into our business. How many people do you need for $1 million? How many? If you get 100 customers and you're a 5-star member of Renatus, Bob Snyder will pay you $1 million in whatever time frame you get it done in. Okay, I did it in 14 months. It took me 6 years to do it, make my first million. It took me 14 months to make my second million. And I'm already halfway through my second million onto that third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. So this is what I want you to keep in your mind. We're looking for coachable people with the means and a need. Need is not first in qualifying customers. Okay. Need is not first. Need is third. You need the means as well. Cool. All right. So here's what's happening. In the next 6 months to 24 months, we're going to have self-driving trucks in our country. These self-driving trucks this is such good news for business owners who need shipping, and they need to do it a safe way, and they need to do it on schedule, and they need to do it in a reliable way, they need to do it in a more fuel efficient way. These self-driving trucks are going to do it. It's going to be awesome. Now, also, if you own a trucking company and you invest in these self-driving trucks and you're like, hell yeah, you keep using me for your logistics, right? And you're going to flourish. But if you're just one of the guys who drives a truck, you don't have a job. Right? That's just how it's working. So these self-driving trucks are going to make the road safer. Things can daisy chain together, so it can be more fuel efficient and less drag on everything. And for the few technical areas of the country where a robot's not really driving it, like a drone pilot, people are driving drones. You don't get in a drone and fly it, you drive it remotely, right? So people drive these trucks remotely. So this is great news for efficiency, for expansion, for reduction of cost. Having humans drive trucks costs almost $200 billion a year for our economy, taking money out of our economy. So it's inevitable. It's going to change. The point is, these 3.5 million people drive trucks. There's this many truckers in the U.S. right now. Okay, these are truckers. Now there's, maybe 500,000 of these trucker jobs will stay around. But as soon as people figure this out and they start putting these conversion kits on there and just making these things happen, there goes an industry. Cool. So guess what? These people are putting up with a brutal lifestyle, right? Their lifestyle is tough. Away from the family, right? This is a brutal lifestyle. This is stressful. This is tough, right? It's bad for their health, right? The kind of food, the amount of sitting, just being, this is bad. This is bad. Bad, not healthy. And they don't make that much money. The average trucker is 49 years old and makes $48,000 a year. So, some people are going to think, well, when people lose their jobs, they could just go get trained for another job. But how many 50-year-olds, are going to go back and learn coding and pay $50,000 to go to a 4-year college to go get a shitty job coding somewhere? That's not a real thing. Pay $20,000, come to Renatus, learn how the financial system works, get a couple rental properties, secure your freedom. Let's go. This is a big opportunity. Come up with ads, compliant ads, of course. Come up with websites, come up with flyers, come up with a new language to help people. This is not a doom and gloom. This is a huge opportunity to bring a bunch of people home who are, silently suffering. They're doing it for crappy dollars, and they can really, really, really use what we're doing. So if you know truckers that are on our team that have made a bunch of money and, using our system, and start telling that story, finding those people, telling the story, building for events. I just gave you the webinars so you can build for these events, and then follow up. For goodness sake, follow up, sign them up, figure it out. You could do it. Okay, all the devices are about to die. I gotta end this recording. Thanks for being here, everybody. Your special Labor Day weekend. Get you going. Go make a difference. I'm glad you guys were here. Shows me who really means it. Shows me whose phone I should answer when they call. Oh, did I say that out loud? Let's keep working. I'm proud of you guys for being here. Let's go make a difference. Okay, we got our regionals coming up. We got Mark Kohler coming up. Check your calendar. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody. See ya.